Welcome back everyone to another episode of Let's Build Twitter. We're on episode 83. In this episode, we start working on the login functionality of the site by setting up the login modal based on the generic modal component that we created previously and set it up on the landing page to be opened. Then we work on individual components of the login modal, such as the top to be able to close the modal with a button click in the actual login content, such as the text, the inputs, and all of the buttons. As always, I'm Ethan and Koder, and let's hop straight into the development. Back everyone, I found some quiet time to go ahead and record and whatnot. It's going to be pretty crazy here over the next couple months starting in May. It's currently April 21st right now, so I'm going to try my best to get all videos and everything going. But today we're working on the login, or at least in this recording session work on the login. You guys know how it goes. We split things up and everything. So we're going to start out by creating a new folder, and it's going to be inside of our features, and this is going to be called login. That's not a folder. Let me undo that. Yes, make a new folder called login. And inside of our login, we're going to go ahead and make a new component, and this is going to be called login modal. We're going to use our modal that we created previously, make a new file called loginmodal.tsx. We might as well go ahead and make a CSS file as well, loginmodal.css. But cool, and inside of our loginmodal.tsx, we're going to go ahead and import React from React, as we always do. And we're also going to go ahead and import our modal. We might not need that CSS, we'll see. We're going to go ahead and create an interface, and we're going to call this the login modal props. And this is not necessary, you don't have to use the interface for this, but I just do for whatever reason. We're going to have a toggle modal, which is a void function, like so. And then we're going to go ahead and export const and login modal, which is a React, if I could type today, that'd be cool, function component that takes in a login modal props, like so. And let's break those props apart. So we'll have our toggle modal here, and there we go. We're gonna return a div. Actually, we're just going to return a modal, and this is going to have our top content, which we need to create. It's going to have our bottom content or middle content, and it's going to have a bottom content as well, bottom content. And for the time being, I spelled content wrong on the bottom, and then we're going to go ahead and close this. And for the time being, we're going to throw some divs in here. So I'm going to say div. This will be login top. We'll have a div here. And this will say login middle or content. It doesn't really matter what it says because we're going to get rid of it anyway. We'll have a div with login bottom, and save that. Our login modal looks good. Let's go ahead and do our exporting and everything. So we're going to make a new file inside the root called index.ts, and we're going to go ahead and import our login modal from there, and we're going to go ahead and export the default our login modal, and that'll make things just a little bit nicer and prettier. And we need to go ahead and modify our login page to accept this login modal. So let's close out of this stuff for now. I guess we didn't need the login modal.css, it's fine. Back on our landing page, we're going to set up a new piece of state called const login in set login. And this will be equal to a use state of boolean. And this is basically going to be the toggle. We'll start it out as false. Then below the register question mark, we're going to throw in a login. So login question mark. So if we're not, so if it's true, we're going to have a login modal from our features, and we'll have a toggle modal, and we need to set up a function here. So for the time being, we'll just set it like that and do this. And there we go. Otherwise, we're just going to have nothing. And there we go. Now we need to go ahead and set up this toggle login. So we'll just have a const toggle login, which will toggle the modal on and off. And this is just going to say set login do not log in. I know this might not be quote unquote best practice. It's literally just a true or false. It's not like we're setting any crazy state, so it should be fine. We're going to go ahead and throw this here. And we can also throw it inside here as well and save that. So now theoretically, we should be able to see this working in action. So let's go ahead and hop in to here. And if we hit the log sign in, you see we have this. We have no way of closing it currently, so I have to refresh, but it's working as expected. So let's take a look and work on our modal here. Back inside of our login features, I'm going to make a new folder. I'm going to call this login modal top, and we're going to make a new file. We're going to call this login modal top.tsx, and this one does need a CSS, so file login modal top.css. Let's close out of some things here. So our login modal top will need React, as we always do, from React, and we need to import the blue Twitter logo. So I'm going to say blue logo from, get this from our assets slash, and then this is going to be large blue logo. And then we're also going to go ahead and import our login modal top.css. Make sure we add the dot slash on here, otherwise it's not going to find it. There we go. Let's go ahead and create an interface. Interface login modal top props, and this is going to have our close modal colon, and this is going to be a void function, and this is going to basically toggle it on and off. Export const will export our login modal top, which is a React dot function component that takes in our login modal props like so, equal to, and we'll break that up. So close modal and login modal top props, and it's because we're not returning anything, so go ahead and return our div, the class name equal to login dash modal dash top. And that will stop that. We'll need a div with the class name equal to login dash modal dash top dash left. In the top left is just going to have our X in it. I'm going to do an uppercase X. If it doesn't look good, I'll make it to a lowercase x, that's fine. We're going to have a div, the class name equal to login dash modal dash top dash middle. And the login top middle. And let me guess, I probably put this outside of the div on accident. There we go, fixed it. This one's gonna have our image. So image with a class name equal to login dash modal dash top dash logo. And this is going to have a source equal to our blue logo. And that's good. And finally, we'll have a div, the class name equal to login dash modal dash top dash left. And this one should be right, actually, top right. This one's not actually going to have anything inside of it, so we can do this. And this is just so it can space this out and style it better. So this is good to go. Let's hop into the CSS. So the CSS is going to be pretty simple. We're going to go ahead and start our login dash modal dash top. We're going to have a width of 100%. So we're going to have it the width of the parent. We'll have a height of 100%. So the height of the parent, our display will be our trusty flex. We're going to align items at flex start. I could type flex start. We're going to justify content flex start. And maybe I want to do the center, but it is fine. And we're going to have a padding of 10 pixels. We're going to have a login dash modal dash left. Let me double check what I top left. And our login modal top left is going to have a width of 33%. All these are going to have a width of 33%, but you'll see we'll have a login dash top or login modal dash top dash shadow. And I don't know. Let me see. Did I miss this? Yes, I did. We should have a div. Let me fix this. So we should have another div here. Div class name equal to login dash modal dash top dash shadow. And this is like the circle that it shows, and then we'll copy the X over. We fix that and save. Okay, now back in here. So our shadow is going to be like that circle that you get whenever you hover over the X. So this is going to have a width of 34 px, a height of 34 px, and it's going to have a display of flex, a justify or align items of center, a justify content of center. It's going to have a padding on the bottom, padding dash bottom of 5 px. It's going to have a border radius of 100%. Radius. So it's going to be a circle. It's going to have a font size of 24 px, and it's going to have a font weight of 400. Then we have a dot login dash modal dash top dash shadow colon hover. So whenever we hover over this, what are we going to do? We'll have a z dash index of 2. We're going to have a background color of RGBA. It's going to be black, so 0, 0, 0, dot 1. So it's going to be transparent. We'll have a border radius again of 100%. And we're going to have a cursor of pointer. All right. Then we need our middle. So dot login dash modal dash top dash middle. And I'm pretty sure I spelled one of these wrong. Top middle, top logo, top right. Okay, we're good. So top middle, again, it's going to be a width of 33%. We're going to have a display of flex. We're going to have an align dash items of center and a justify content of center, like that. Then we're going to have a dot login modal right dash top dash right. And this one is just going to have a width of 33%. I know it's not perfect. It should be like 33.333 repeating, but it's close enough to get us to where we want. And then finally, we have a login dash modal dash top dash logo. And this is just going to have a width of 30 pixels. If I could type 30 px. And then a height of auto. Cannot type today, I'm so sorry. And I believe that should be everything. Make sure login modal top logo, login modal top logo. Cool. Now theoretically, if we hop back into here and give it a refresh. Oh, we need to actually import it first, so let's go ahead and do that. We'll go back into here, go into a login modal, and we need to import it. So we're going to go ahead and import our login modal top. And now instead of this login top, it's going to be a login modal top, and our close, what do we call it? Thought it was close modal. It is close modal. Our close modal will be equal to our toggle modal, and do that. Whoops, I did this wrong. And why? Oh, login modal top. There we go. Save. Let's go ahead and take a peek now. If we sign in, we should see it. Yeah, that guy is a little bit big. So let's go ahead and change that back to a lowercase. I wanted to see what it looked like. X and save. Let's try this. Okay, there we go. And if we hit it, it doesn't do anything. I forgot to put the on click on the X. So we need to say on click is equal to close modal and save. Now we'll try it again and come back into here. And if we click on it, it goes away. Open, close, cool. That's all good to go. Now that we can open and close our modal, we need to work on the actual content that goes inside the middle. Hopping back into VS Code, let's go ahead and close out of the top information. I'm going to move the landing page over just to be a little bit more organized. We're going to go ahead and open this back up and make a new folder. I'm going to call this login forms. And inside of login forms, we have a new file. We're going to call it login form 1.tsx. Now the annoying thing is that the styling of these forms are different. So I'm going to go ahead and just make a new file. I'm going to call it login form 1.css. It's a little bit annoying, but what can you do? As always, we'll import React from React. We're going to import our validated dated text input. I could type text input from our components, and also import /login form1.css. We'll go ahead and export const, and we're going to have our login form1, which is a react.function component. It's not going to take in any props at this time. We might change it later. We need to return our component, which will be a div with a class name equal to login-form-1-container. And in here, we'll have an h1 that has a class name equal to login-form-1. I guess for now it's just login header, login form header. Again, I think it changes, but I don't remember. Sign into footer. Then we're going to have a button. This is a temporary button, similar to like we had before. Sign in with Google. We'll kind of remake these buttons later. We have another button, sign in. Whoops, if I could close this. Sign in with Apple. All right, then we're going to have a divider like we had before. So div, and I know there's going to be some overlap here, but it is what it is. Login-form-1-divider. And here we're going to have another div. Class name is going to be equal to login-form-1-line. We're going to do that silly thing again. Then we're going to have a div, or a p actually, the class name equal to login-form-1-or. And this is just going to say or in here. We're going to have the last div that's the same again. So let me copy and paste this one like so. That's going to be our divider. Then we have our validated text input like so. Valid is going to be equal to true. Our name is going to be equal to identifier. I could type identifier. Our label is going to be phone, email, or a username. And then our change value is just going to be an empty function for the time being. We'll fix that up in a bit. And then our button here. So this is a part that really annoys me about Twitter, is that they made the modals different for like everything. This one doesn't have a bottom content. The button for next is actually inside of the top content of the modal. It's kind of silly, but it is what it is. Then we have another button. The class name equal to login-form-forgot password button. And this is going to say forgot password question mark. All right. And then we also have a P that says class name equal to login-form-1 text, and then color of gray. So we also need to come back up there and import the global CSS. It's going to say don't have an account question mark. We're going to have a span, the class name equal to link in color dash blue. And let's close this and create the span. And this is going to say sign up. And again, this is eventually going to link to the sign up page. So we do have a little bit of work here. So we need to grab the global CSS, import our // all the way out to assets / global.css. I think I did end up doing it like this. So I'm going to call this loginforms.css, and I'm going to rename this to loginform.css. And we might refactor this later. Unfortunately, that's going to be it for today. If you guys enjoyed, please stick around for the next episode by hitting that subscribe button. You'll know exactly when it comes out, especially with that bell icon. If you did enjoy the content today, please sure to leave a thumbs up. If you did enjoy it, leave a thumbs down. Either way, it helps out with the algorithm all the same. And finally, if you have any suggestions or feedback for me, make sure you leave a comment down below. With that being said, I appreciate you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode. Peace out, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.